All right, AKA Powders. We're just going to get right to it because it's been a little bit too long, but we had to go on the run of recording a lot of content, and we're just all systems are go right now. I at least wanted to do a GI Joe stream today because last week, we kind of left off with Crystal Ball, and I literally only had about 10 minutes. That was on me. I thought I had a little bit more time, but I'm kind of getting the idea that for the Cobras, I want to do these insanely awesome red highlights, and then I guess to complement that, I have to do a round of blue highlights for the Joes, or maybe blue. I guess blue works, but either way, we're going to make them complementary. But today we're drawing the RoboCop of the Joes. And previously, we did Raptor, we did Crystal Ball, did Ice Cream Soldier, kind of did a little bit of a round of Captain Gridiron. That was the beginning of all this. And DJ and Fastball. So a little bit of a stack. No completed artwork yet. I think after this one, we're going to just go all in. And we'll start to get this on the nicer paper and so on and so forth. But in the meantime, we're still kind of like, we're just in the idea stage. We're getting the ideas out of our head onto the paper. So that usually is black and white artwork and pencils. I ran out of pencils the other day. So I went to Target. I got a big pack of these, even though this is what's left over from my old packs. And I got 2 more packs of those Five Below markers, like these ones these are great, and they're $5. And again, I was going to do a video on them. But yeah, if you're not familiar, this is who we're drawing right here. Come on, focus. It is. There we go. This is the RoboCop, Robo Joe. This is the RoboCop of the GI Joe universe. You can see he's got part metal face and somewhat of a World of Warcraft, right? It's a WoW, not World, Warhammer. So they got these Warhammer bodies. I think that's effing cool. But yeah, let's go, guys. Rock and roll. Yo, outside the box. What is happening? Guys, real quick. I need some of my drinky drink. So here, real quick. I'm going to leave you crypt. It's going to keep you he's going to keep you company. Where did I gotta find out where I put my stuff at. I got a little bit of coffee here, but I need some good liquid. 1 second, everyone. Got ourselves a new flavor of prawn, guys. Strawberry banana. Let's effing go. Let's get those forever chemicals in our guts. And I'm saying that with jest. I'm not serious about the forever chemicals. But yeah, let's draw some Warhammer-esque heroes with a robotic face. Again, for whatever reason, people hate this guy. I don't get it. I think he looks awesome. I love his colors too. I love the black and orange. Yeah, but I really just kind of wanted, just draw him in this insanely, actionable pose. Shoot him right down the middle. And right here, see, so we're going to split that. So now we got our pelvis. We're going to be doing thick boy legs. Little baby head. We can go a little bit wider. And I'm not familiar with his gun. Yeah, maybe. Well, I'm second guessing the pose. Yeah, and it really is like one chunk of his. Yeah, and I know like some of the criticism for this is like, like why is he part robot? Like, need we forget that, like Destro has a movable metal face, right? And Major Blood has a bionic arm. So, like, come on. If you don't think this guy would work in the G.I. Joe universe, I don't know. I really, but I just seem like I'm always making excuses for these characters because once I start drawing them, like I just get into them. Yeah, and a chunk of this series too was kind of like just getting on the lines of discovering like what the good pieces are of these characters. Like how like what are the keys to make them stand out? Like what's everyone else missing? Like that sort of thing, right? And geez, we still have to get a little bit better here. Outside, give me 1 second, dude. I am going to check that. Yeah, and he has, dude. This is very Warhammer, like just the proportions of the armor. Yeah, outside, dude. I don't know. Like I never stopped drawing since I was younger. So a few decades, I'll tell you that, and a few decades regularly. But uh I try and showcase as much as of my process as much as possible, and I know I know it's tough because there's so much bad advice, but anyone out there like just trying to understand a little bit more about the like the internal process, we'll call it, right, of illustration and drawing, the like you have to, it's not only like obsessive, you have to kind of find a way to integrate a lot of the drawing regimen and the daily practice of it into your lifestyle. And I don't want to say learning to illustrate is a lifestyle, but geez, it's close. Here we go. And give like a little bit more of a design here. We make improvements or fixes, changes along the way, just to kind of keep it going. And I don't know why, but I'm not digging the top part here. Give me 1 second here. And the top part's going to be black. And we'll experiment with making this guy a little bit blue to go with our new art direction. We finally have an art direction, which is, I love it. I love having like something to hit, like something to. It's like we always do like two things at the same time. We do like the super cool highlights, and then like along the way we're going to make the armor just like chip broken and just absolutely destroyed. Here's the crazy thing. I'm kind of into the idea of there being like a G.I. Joe star, like right here. I like the ideas of, I guess he's Star Brigade, right? Of these guys kind of having like a G.I. Joe logo, like right on their chest. So let's just see. We're just doing some darks here to try and bring some of this to life. The Nick, what's up, buddy? Cheers, guys. Cheers to the Nick. Right here. New flavor of Prime, strawberry banana. Let's effing go. And what's his gun? What is his gun? I'm trying to get a good close up. Oh, here we go. No, so he's got like a shoulder. So he's got like, so this was like a problem with this era of G.I. Joes. So they give him like the shoulder cannon. Oh, and look, his armor actually has like speckles on it. It's so wild. Gold speckles. Oh, and he's got like a robotic eye. I missed that. But his whole mouth is exposed, which is awesome. And you kind of need that to explain some things. Right, like any sci-fi cyborg guy, like like you never get half mouth. It's either like all robot or all. Now his helmet's cool looking too. But let me just kind of. Sorry, we're doing a couple things at the same time here. So the point I was about to make, so they give these guys like you'll see here, like he's got this really cool cannon, like good play value there, but then he has just like normal looking guns, right? Like the guns are not like he comes with a machete, a shotgun, and two like realistic looking guns, right? Like this one with a scope and with the clip. So we'll give him a cool looking sci-fi gun. We will use some of that to our advantage. I'm still not liking. I keep pushing out his shoulders here. I know the neck, and here's the wild thing is I think I did that for a while. Not for a while. Like I did a couple streams with it. If I have a facing camera, yeah, I hate the idea of being on camera even for a draw stream if I'm not wearing sunglasses. Geez, my favorite G.I. Joe. I feel like I'm always shifting. I always like dial tone just because he's got that beret and a really cool backpack and kind of like an Uzi with a silencer. His accessories were cool. Outback is beyond cool to me. Some of them work. And then when it comes to the Cobras, dude, I love Major Blood. I don't know how Major Blood, by like with all the work that IDW did with GI Joe, right? Like kind of like the best run we could have ever imagined with GI Joe. I know people are kind of saying different things now with Skybound, but like how does Major Blood not become more prominent? Because he is so like just visually, he like his design tells such a wild story. The eye patch, the robotic arm, all the GI, he's got all the Joe dog tags on him. Yeah, Snake Eyes. Yeah, Snake Eyes is like right. Yeah, I know, dude. Like, I'll tell you what I do like. Did you guys see? There's like a GI Joe Classifieds where there's like a desert attack Snake Eyes. That one is so freaking cool. Yes, Cobra. Firefly. I like even when I was younger, the Crimson Guards were like the coolest. I thought they were the coolest figures. I had maybe like five or seven of them. I had like a little army of them. Dude, I'm kind of into the idea of him having a sword now. I kind of think it's cool. What do you guys think? Because the action figure came with a machete. Should I do the sword? Should we make him about to hack something? Let me know. But guys, I know it's the weekend. I know you guys probably have things to do. I'm sure you got like chicks hitting you up to go out tonight, or anyone hanging out there, guys. Like I appreciate it. I've just figured you guys would be I don't know, making some bad decisions, aka pad style. Oh, dude, alley vipers. Yeah, so Mr. Danger, so maybe you're a little bit more connected to the GI Joe sphere than myself. Like, has there been explanations to why the alley viper has the colorway that he does? And I know, like, I'm talking about the original, like, or just like what the idea about it is. And I know they've done like more updated ones. I think there were like gray ones and blue ones, but I don't know if they ever, if like if anyone ever put out like a good idea or solution. I have one though. I have one for Alley. Like, yeah, sword. Yeah, right. Yeah, dude. Dude, I like GI Joe Retaliation. Like, is that going to get me thrown off the internet if I admit that? GI Joe Retaliation, where literally Cobra takes over the U.S. government. I love that movie, dude. That movie and when Roadblock and Firefly fight in the alley, dude. That really cool looking tank at the end, and just GI Joe getting wiped out in the beginning. I don't know. I think that movie just sings. I think that movie works. It moves. Who's the chick that plays Lady J in that? dude. She's oh my god, dude. Like when she wears that red dress, you're just like, here we go. Yeah, and that's kind of where it should be fun, because even like Scarlet and even like the Baroness. Oh, who's the girl that plays the Baroness in that too? She's a little, she, the last place I lived. She's in the movie called 21 Bridges, and they shot some of that movie in my last apartment. Well, 2 apartments ago, and the the production like manager or the one of the assistant directors, I had a GI Joe Baroness cup, like Slurpee cup for her to sign. It was like a 7-Eleven ones. They were like lenticular, and I left her the cup because they had to move me to a hotel for like 2 weeks while they did all this work. And dude, I forget her name. Like, I think it's Sienna Miller. And dude, I was so heartbroken because she did sign it. She said thank you, and it got lost in one of my moves. And dude, I just that was like the best souvenir of that experience. But she dude, and I love all the stuff that they did with the Baroness and her like goggles, like her like she had this like heads up display, very much like in Iron Man, but really cool stuff though. Like both of those movies. I don't know, people. I think the internet just kills things anymore. But we fight back against it on this channel. Like I think a lot of the positioning, and it comes from me. It's really, I think it's unique. I think a lot of people are very NPC out there, and they just kind of repeat a lot of the same stuff. I do believe like film criticism is dead. It's just people that don't know how to watch movies anymore. Like it's not even that. It's like they don't know how to watch movies, and then they don't know how to talk about them or just discuss them. So we're just kind of blacking out here, trying to see some of the form. So I'm kind of toggling between heavy darks, like shaded areas to showcase the form, and then contour lines to support that shading. So some of this I have to figure out now. Like I do like, right, I like the lean right here. I think we're selling that. So now it's like we kind of want to push, like we kind of want to cut the page off like this. If you guys can see that. And then, we'll have more room. So, like, this is why, like, you draw and then you redraw, right? Yeah, The Rock was good. Yeah, it's so, yeah, or like they were orange and blue. So, Danger, Mr. Danger. So here's my whole theory with the Alley Viper. Like, can I, like, right here? So, like, and I so wish what they needed to do with that is they needed a his tank or like an urban vehicle, which to me, like, his tanks are it's more of an urban tank just because it's so high up and narrow. But, like, for example, like, geez, can I draw a hiss from memory? Like, a hiss has this type of, right, and then it has like the top turret, right, which is like this, right, and then we like we have our guy, right, like that's a little bit, and we have our canopy, right. So, like, well, that's a pretty good hiss from memory. So anyway, so, like, let's say we have a hiss, right, and like we're kind of on like a street here. We have like a brick wall or something, okay, and if we had like a couple like alley vipers here, just kind of, just hanging out, they're the support. So if they were like, if you saw this in the real world, oh, there you go, and like, let's just say you saw this with the naked eye, like, it's kind of like this. And this is my understanding to how camouflage like works, right? So we get this, and all of a sudden, right, like, you don't see the troop strength, because that's the biggest thing. And that's empty. Perfect. Right? Like, you don't see here we go. Like, you don't see any of the troop strength. So this is kind of like how you might see something with the naked eye. So there could be 5 or 20. And that's why the Alley Vipers are colored that way. Because to the naked eye and to urban combat, where you are in small pockets, you're in squads, there's 5 or 6 of you there at a time, and you're you're clustered together. If they did an Alley Viper colored his tank, dude, that would be to go with the the smaller scale figures, dude. That would be huge. But it would explain it. It would explain the color choice, which I do feel like that was a little bit of the yeah, we'll forgive you. Yeah. Yeah, retaliations. Yeah. No, the Nick, I do feel like they make good movies. I'm so entertained, like, just watching all these new movies I pop up on stream. Maybe I'm easily entertained, and I get it. We can have a critical eye on things. But I don't know. Like, it's like you can even watch The Godfather and see logical inconsistencies with The Godfather. Yeah, right. Yeah, and then, like, I don't know, man. Like, I would be all in on that. I think that's a great effort. Come by the AKA Pad stream where we dish out the good ideas. Yeah, and this is almost like a space blade, right? That's just like the impression I get from it. Like I almost don't feel like he works well with a gun anymore if he's got the knife out. All right, right. Having a little bit of Omer. Yo, what's up, dude? Yeah, Omer. So yeah, I will if you can give me like a 2-day window, maybe like this coming Wednesday and Thursday, just so I can kind of have a little bit of wiggle room. We can make it happen. Everyone, future stream coming up with this individual. So hopefully hopefully that will be this week. And I don't know. We need a good subject. Anyone out there that wants to give two dudes an idea of what to draw live? Let us know, and we'll add it to our debate queue because I'm sure we're going to go back and forth with a couple ideas of what's right and what's not. Pop culture wise, like what's hot? I guess no one's talking about Furiosa, right? People are just talking about that movie bombing. So, but I'm not against something Road Warrior. I haven't never rendered those characters before. Nah, like some of this is not fitting. And it's because I'm like exaggerating some of his proportions. And I want to say like this knee is coming in too high. And we should really change. We should change the turn of his wrist. We should make the blade go this way, and then we can kind of do. I might want to do one of those like anime, like crazy shines. Those like anime reflections from the 90s and 80s. So some of this is working, some of it's not. We're doing a lot of scribbling here because we're just fighting. We're fighting to get the idea out. So we're keeping this. I'd rather this arm be up a little, right? Like his arm should be more like thrown. This is all the like amongst the process to get like a good pose going. You know, like you have to put the work in for a solid pose. All right, so that looks a hell of a lot better. Just made some adjustments. So like now, like if you guys can see it, he's just leaning in. He's just like I think his body now looks like that. There's a little bit of like gravity to it. Here we go. And I like a little bit of the separation right like right here. I like some of that separation. I think some of that works. So now I have to get the right like for his leg armor. You know, because he's got these like I'll try and show him off. See, he's got these like giant kind of like knee pads, but they're like a lot of this just is really reminds me of the Bionic Six Figures. Thank you, Omar. Thank you. Yeah, three. Hey, it's okay to use 3D assets, right? Like that is fine, but you have to make it your own. You have to make it your own to the point that you blur the line of how it's being made. You have to blur the line. Look, just so we can stick to comics, because I can bring up a lot of different examples. We'll jump into this real quick. We'll to Alex Ross, who uses he uses photography, right? Photography, the original 3D assets, the 3D assets that existed before photography were you would have a model show up, and then you would make a photo or morgue. You would collect thousands of photographs and keep a file, and then you could take your own pictures once we got cell phones, and now we have 3D assets, but you have to make them your own. Say like here, like Alex Ross got, this is a model for some of his Bring the Thunder, also reviewed on my channel, right? But he makes it his own. He makes it like he makes it his own in such a wild way. So who cares? 3D assets, just fine. Hold up here, guys. Here we go. So some of this area around the neck here needs. We have to embed the neck. A little bit better. But okay, I mean, we got some of the. We have some of this. Like some of this is ready to go. I think. I still think this leg's like too long. I don't know. I kind of feel like the knee, like the knee needs to be like right underneath this wrist. But once I light box it, I can make that decision. So I did want to experiment a little bit with getting these guys rocking and rolling with blue. Like rock, and by that I mean, like, let's kind of go all in on some of these blue highlights that I talked about earlier. I'm just so curious. I just want, like, all the Joes having deep blue highlights, and then the Cobras having that red room, like all red highlights. Dude, now like I'm excited. That just gets me going. Just makes me want to now work on these like all the time. Yeah, but I knew I was going to go through a phase of just discovering some of that art direction. Oh, I know. That is tough to see. My apologies. So let's kind of like right here. We'll use that. Correct. Don't stray out copy it. Yeah, morgue files. Yes. Yeah, unknown 88. What is up? No, this is just for shits and giggles, Omer. The age of Fatal J. What is up? Fatal J. Thank you, buddy. Fatal, we are gearing up to start streaming together, just so you know. Maybe Oh, and Fatal, dude, I never got back to you. Thank you for the video offer. But dude, I think like what you were doing is something I have had like in queue for a while to kind of do regular promo videos for people. Like it's hard to do them for like campaigns because like the campaign doesn't get fulfilled, and I just think it's they can make your channel look bad. And there's like very little accountability when it comes to the people who promote streams versus the individuals who like will promote any. Like I don't really trust all the individuals that kind of promote any crowdfunding stream. Right? It's just it's like, what are you doing? Like it's not there's not that many good books out there, I'll tell you that. Like you can't be that busy. But see, like so maybe you guys can kind of help I can help you visualize where like I kind of want to go with these highlights. And I still want heavy shadows, like heavy blacks, heavy darks, which we'll use with the Pentel brush pen. Yeah, yeah, dude. I'm not Jay. I'm not. No exaggeration. The shop that I went to in Philly had the most abhorrent people working there, and given they were nice individuals, but at the same time, they might have been friendly with me a couple times. And I went there and I spent, I would spend like a good chunk of change there. And you guys see, like I did, if you go back through my hauls on the channel, like it took a while for me to even mention the name of that shop because I didn't want to, like, I just didn't feel comfortable promoting them because I knew they would be out of business because again, I know things, and here's the crazy thing too. That shop, they hired a very close friend of mine through Dynamite Comics to audit the store and to kind of figure out if it was salvageable and all these other things. And at that point, he like it's kind of like he was in discussions to get equity if things kind of like worked out a certain way. And he called me and I'm like, hey, like, maybe can we get like a investment group going real quick? And I called two previous like shop owners that I know, and I was building a group within minutes because I thought from the inventory I knew that shop had, I knew I could make it rain with my one friend, and my one friend is he's great. He's so good with the comic book stuff. He actually knows. I would say he probably knows more than myself. But he's also him and I. We both come from the retail side, and we actually worked at rival comic shops at like 20 plus years ago. Yeah, that's a great promotion. Buy 5 get 1 free. No, maybe. Yeah, maybe no, it's like, like believe it or not, there's women out there that just want a decent steady job, without doing anything weird. They yeah, it's so funny. Like I would put like imagine having a comic shop in like a downtown shopping district or like a shopping mall and having that type of presence. Like being near a Sephora, being near Abercrombie and Fitch and just like some of those sexualized places, right? Like like you would want that. If you have sexy cosplayers at the register. Yeah, it's that's a part of it, Jay. Like there is like a sales side for sure. I don't know. I mean, like like getting to this point real quick, guys. The cosplayers, some of the cosplayers might just like give you their time to promote themselves and to be in front of like comic fans. Yeah, and also you have to understand too. Like this comic shop had a lot of support of local Philadelphia professionals, uh, like that stuff. Like it's not like this shop uh didn't have like wasn't magnified. Like this was a shop that a lot of people were 100% familiar with. Like a lot of people, and you're also in a major downtown district. Like it's just dude, it's just bad business. And you kind of sometimes you just want to say, um, who gives up? Is it the business or the business owner? And I really want to say in this case the business owner just gave up. That's just how I feel. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to pick out like some of the good lines here, just so I can kind of see the blacks a little bit better. Right. Like here we go. Right. Like that looks like at least that looks like a warrior. Just looks like a dude like you don't want to mess with. All right. I always make like a lot of my sectional armor. Like I make it almost just like brutalized, like ancient steel. Well, well, women like yes and no. I mean, that's a tough comment thing to comment on over. Also after hours. Yeah. So Fatal J. Here's the thing though. You have to be in an area that allows that. Not all counties will allow businesses to be open after hours. so you may be limited on that. But I'll say this though: we used to run DDR tournaments, we used to run Street Fighter tournaments, and a lot of stuff. I would say the Magic the Gathering tournaments, the Pokemon, any tournament where you can have people like their entry would be purchasing one pack of cards. And then like maybe like people will buy 2 or 3 packs at a time, and you sell a couple boxes. Stuff like that. Like that's where you have to get good and savvy. Like you just have to embrace the for lack of a better term, you have to embrace the subculture. We're just trying to pick out the friendly lines here, everyone. The lines we can be friends with. Winners will win graded. Yeah. Get rid of the graded comics. So, real quick, guys, did you see the new thing now with CGC where the highest? So it was everything used to be like a 9.8, right? Like a 9.8 was 9.8 was mint, and now they're saying like 9.9, and they're even going up to 10.0. Like, what is that? That is, how is that not fraud behavior? It's almost just like now people are going to be they're going to be resubmitting comics to get a 9.9. It's insane. And these commentators just like suck it up. I don't get it. I don't. That would be making millions. Make it rain. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that one, Jay. This is true. Nobody wants to think outside the box. Hey, Omar, like let's what are we doing? What are we doing here? Come on. Well, I mean, look, in like I will say this. You need sometimes when you go through like let's just say that like that was happening, right? Like let's just say like Fatal J kind of through his like YouTube channel, like someone local to him reaches out to him and is like, hey, like, would you like to go into a partnership? And, can you use your channel and use some of your other resources to promote the shop? And Fatal J just says, like, hey, that's like minimum risk for me. Yes. Like, I'll take sweat equity and let's try and like pump the stock of this store and let's go. Like, and let's just say like they're in like a county that's permissible to after hours activity and things like that. And at that point though, I'll say this, like the younger shop owners in around Jersey and PA, like the ones that kind of matter, they are heavy into vintage figures. They're away from like board games. They're away from Warhammer because that takes up a lot of product. I mean, that product takes up a lot of like shelf space, and like so it's like all of this stuff, right? And at that point, like once you figure out the merchandising arm, and the companies you can be on terms with, terms like like some of these. Look, I've been planning a video for a while of how McFarlane Toys hurts comic shops because it's so difficult to go direct and their minimums are stupid. So comic shops make about $2 to $3 per McFarlane figure that they order off of diamond distributors. The and that's kind of where McFarlane should know that, and I'm sure he does, but it's not a part of their business, whatever. Like, right? So McFarlane rather just, he'll just hit the high road and whatever. Like he does streams, he does a couple different shows. Like he's present and people think whatever, right? But no, McFarlane has a lot to answer to when it comes to that because that's a business practice that hurts comic shops. So all your collectibles that you're going to get through Diamond are going to be very low yield. The yields for those are going to suck. And then the alternative is to go direct. And the minimums to go direct are not worth it. So now it's like, how do you figure out the merchandise? And that's the riddle, everyone. Even getting people in your shop, if you cannot figure out the merchandise, and you will need the hot things when they're hot. And like, do you go into t-shirts? Do you go heavily into trading cards? Like stuff like that, but a lot of these distributors, even if they know you're like a new shop, dude, just to get some of the right Pokemon cards, the right Magic cards, you have to make a big investment. Like they won't talk to you. You'll get the product late if you're not ordering big enough numbers. So, and that kind of is it's almost like you need the that weekly comic book flow. Like you need the people coming in for their weekly comics, and then it's almost like how do I monetize that? Like that would be step one. And now step two would be, oh, all right, like what else? Like who else customer wise? Like who are the other customers that we have access to? I don't know. Like I would probably do it though. Like if I was trying to do it not long ago, but if the opportunity really presented itself, I would put money into a comic shop. Like 1,000%. Yeah. Slabs are lame. Yeah. The variant cover market needs. Oh my god, I'm so sick of that, dude. These variant covers, like, what the hell? Like, no joke, guys. Like, what are we doing? What are none of them work, dude. Like even at Fat Jack's, this freaking comic shop. I'll say this. Boxes of variant covers. And people like you're still paying as a retailer, you're paying a good price for those, and you cannot move them. You couldn't move them to save your life. Even at 70% off, just sitting there. So I don't know, aka Patters. If you guys can see how I already adjusted the leg. So yeah, I just feel like let's just kind of see if maybe we can get lucky just right here with the ink. Just move that leg up just like a little, and then here we'll cheat a little. We'll put like a gear in. All right. Guys, I think we're like getting there though. I mean, I like the shape of this. I think the shape just works. Like it's just there. Like right, the shape is there, the motion is there. I mean, look. I mean, like, come on. It's almost like when you're a kid, when you play with him, this is what you're imagining. Like that's what's in your head. Yeah, I'm fine with Bay producing. Bay's a in my view, we have to kind of play eras and we have to play the requirements of studios and how like the movie product has shifted from generation to generation. But Bay's at the top of the list though. Like just through money alone, Bay, in my opinion, is there. And people spend money on his movies. They do. And people might say, oh, it's advertising. Well, advertising doesn't work all the time, right? So, people find those movies, they find them on DVD, they spend a hell of a lot of money on Michael Bay movies. And I don't care what anyone says. I love Bad Boys. I love Bad Boys 1 and 2. Those movies, I pee myself every single time I watch those movies. Here we go. Look at that. You almost want to say like this blade here, it should have like a Lord of the Names name to it, like like Stinger or something. Yeah. Well, Todd Toys didn't go under. He had to change the name there because there was another toy company that had a similar copyright or trademark. But here we go. You talking about lawsuits? That doesn't mean he's not a good salesman. Yeah, I mean, like some of the McFarlane lawsuits are like they're stupid. I think him and his arrogance definitely. But like he also like sued Al Simmons. Like that. Did you guys know that? Like the guy that he named Spawn after, like his best friend, he freaking sued him. Which is also a subject of a video coming up. Yeah, I don't think like McFarlane he's a tough cookie to crack because people just want to say just because he's successful he's infallible, and we don't do that here. We are critical. Like we discuss it. Because look, dude, like McFarlane in the way. Like Image Comics pretty much like a failed union that he was trying to create. And then he would go on and on about being ostracized in Marvel. And it's just like, him unionizing artists in Marvel, especially the top guys, would have killed Marvel Comics. Would have killed them. Yes, he did write a book about it. Yeah. Oh, wait, hold up. Yeah, the bigness. The baseballs got him the MLB license. So, like that was a business move. Now, given how much would the license have cost? Like, here's the thing. Like he had to buy the baseballs to be taken seriously, and then pay the money for the license. So, and at that point you want to be like, well, that's not just all cash, right? Like he's got business partners. Like there's other factors there, like 1,000%. But the baseballs were really a way for him to get access, because he tried to do his own trading cards, and he kind of became a joke. And when he couldn't, they were called front row, right? Like front row sports. And like he couldn't get the license. And then like once the toy stuff kind of happened, like he went back to it. We're gonna hit this with some blues. We're just gonna let this dry real quick. We'll catch up on some chitty chats. Yeah, he does. Yeah. He still has the baseballs, as far as I know. Jay, this is like the most heated I've ever seen you. Yeah, I mean, like is he a genius though, or is he just? I really do feel like he so money so quickly, and was lucky enough to kind of keep it. But I would say, I don't know, like I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if even another entity came in to purchase Spawn. I think there's stuff with. I think there's a lot of that stuff, because a lot of his stuff now, ever since he did that action figure Kickstarter, and when they did Spawn 300, even like the nature of the books shifted, and maybe they're better managed and they're this, but it's not him. But I would say like the money he made, I think he lost a chunk of it, and he got lucky like a second time. There's just a lot of basic questions, but McFarlane's quote unquote money. Yeah. White Shadow, unknown. Snake. Yeah, dude. Yeah. No, Jay. I 1,000%. Yeah, and Jay, like, isn't it for, like? I'll tell you one thing, dude. Um, and Omer too. Omer's a tech guy, and here's the thing. Let's just say we're tech bros, right? um, when you work in technology, right? It's not like like what when it comes to Microsoft and Microsoft 365 and even Apple and their products, right? It's not like they're told what to do. Like they're actively improving their products. And when some of their launches and their products don't work, they might take a piece of one technology, they'll salvage it, and then like they'll move on and it becomes something else. Like Xbox was what Microsoft Home at one point, right? And the comic industry, it's not just even the owners though, but the industry as a whole, like it can learn a lot from tech. I'll tell you right now. These MOOCs can learn a lot of how tech grows their products, and they make things people cannot live without. And if you don't think creating something that's like of the mind, of the imagination, isn't easier than what the tech companies are doing, like you're wrong. Like the tech companies have a heart. The comic industry has a effing easy. Well, guys, I'm digging these blue highlights. I think we're good with this, though. Geez, just over an hour. Yeah, Scarlet's great, dude. Scarlet's awesome. Even dude, who's the Scarlet in the G.I. Joe movie? That girl is smoking. Yeah, congrats, Jay. Congrats. April O'Neil. Yeah, even if it's one change, dude. And it's not like they're not fighting to improve. Like, have you guys seen the documentary on the development of the Xbox and how they were like 3 warring fractions in Microsoft, like fighting to get Bill Gates's time? And I think the one team had 10 minutes with Bill Gates. Like it's insane. Yeah, dude, that's great. Dude, that's tech work though. You have to, if you're not savvy with Google, it's hard to work in tech. It really is. Oh, dude, Tron 2's the shit, dude. Dude, Jay, I am not exaggerating. A lot of times where I have to go into a like critical situation, or if I'm like getting the call, because sometimes, like I'm one of the guys of my team that lives in Philly. I'll have my Uber pick me up, and dude, I'll play the music like going into work. It's like the opening few tracks, dude. I love the music for Tron Legacy. Yeah, they make newspapers. I guess all of them are, most of them are not profitable. Rachel something, I think. Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I mean, like some of that's true, Omar. But it gets to the point of, I think vinyl records didn't go away because there's something to it, and people didn't want to let go. The industry shrank. It seemed like it went away for a little bit, and then it came back. I view comics as very much the same way. There's something about a comic, despite the technology, right? Like there's something about holding a comic, and that's the connection. Yeah, dude. Dude, I even have the speaking of vinyl, I got the Tron Legacy on like as a record, dude. I'll play that record too from time to time. Yeah, Olivia Wilde, dude. You know what's great too? Like, did you guys? Where is it? Where is it? I'll be right back. Give me 1 second, guys. If I can find something, I'll show it off real quick. Here it is. We'll go through this, and then I will jump ship because I got some other drawing to do that I cannot do live. But here we go, guys. On July 9th, 1982. And look, you guys got to see the inside here. Dude, Tron is so look, earned an exceptional $33 million. That's what the original did. Dude, look at Tron. Look at if Tron doesn't get you rock hard, man. Like, I don't know. Look at this concept work. Like, it's insane. And it's like the concept work is easy because like the ideas around Tron are so they cut glass. You know, like when Dirk Diggler, when they're in the hot tub and he tells Burt Reynolds and he's like, you know, like I need a name that cuts glass. And he imagines like his name in neon lights and the neon lights explode. That's like, and here's Sid Mead here, guys. Sid Mead has, they're re-releasing 3 of his art books. We will be doing those on the channel. But it's just like, just the idea of Tron, it lends itself to like low-hanging fruit imagery. And I don't feel like there's a bad design. Like when you go through some of the alternate designs for this and what the ideas are, it's, you know, you're just like you can pick any one. Look at this concept of Sam's loft, you know, his Bayside garage. Flynn's arcade. Dude, in this movie, when they hit the lights and you get that Journey song, oh baby. Perfect moment. So part of my criticism for these is they kind of go in order of the movie. We don't get a lot of alternate ideas. We get maybe like the finalized concepts. I like the like alternate stuff. I like seeing like even here, like see, like the girls got their faces covered. Like, you know, they got COVID protection on. Like here's a nice storyboard of the girl stepping out of the like the smoke or the environment. It's just insane, guys. Like Tron is just next level. And the new one, dude, Olivia Munn's car right here. Dude, it is. But here she is. And look, here we go. Like alternate concept for her. Dude, the movie that she directed, the Don't Worry, Darling, that might be on Netflix. That's a good flick. That gets a thumbs up from Peter World. Like everything with Flynn, dude, the white cycle that he has. I don't know, guys, man. Like Tron really, it's nothing less than constant inspiration. Constantly inspiring. Yeah, we will. Jay, we're hitting a rough spot on Wildstorm on Top Cow Tuesdays because like I have to get deeper into Strike Force and Cyber Force, and we're still a little bit away from Witchblade. But I've been like, I so want to do a Witchblade retrospective since I have like a good array of the 200 issues for that. And like, holy crap, dude. I really don't like doing what I view as just like hate videos, but I really want to do a rise and fall of Witchblade. Because, dude, they lost their mojo on that book in a bad way. Yeah, it's and later too, like the lore is Jackie becomes they have a kid. The kid wields the Witchblade. I think that's after issue 150. And they kind of tried they shifted the legacy, right? Like Witchblade, they became a legacy character. I, I think when they did that with Spawn, it didn't hit. When they did that with Savage Dragon, it didn't hit. Yeah, I know. Tron Beyond Good. Yeah. 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 Yeah, dude. Like I like the. It's just kind of like, so if Flynn has, like, let's say like Flynn could get access um inside the network, like you kind of want to say like how did he know where to patch in? Because you're like, well, like it looks like he patches in anywhere, but and then he patches in on something outside the firewall on the intranet, on the inside network. So, but the cool thing is though, like I really wish there was like a scene where because you can send yourself like a beacon, and you can get that server to blink in a certain light sequence so you can identify it. And when you have server rooms as big as they do in that movie, that's what you have to do sometimes so you can identify things like the physical equipment. I wish they did something like that though. Yeah, so where my gap is probably Witchblade like 30 through 100. I need some of those Randy Green issues. I need some of those Tyler Kirkman issues. I need some of those Francis issues. I need some of those Tony Daniel issues. I do have a look, like I will have to fill in that gap. Yeah, yeah, solid movie. Oh, the old man and the original Flynn actor is returning. That's awesome. I didn't know that, Jay. I just knew Jared Leto's in it. I stopped reading if it turns to the darkness after Sylvester and Benitez. Yeah, dude, Benitez is great though, dude. I dig Benitez so much. Like Weapon Zero is so freaking cool. Yeah, like Green was you know what it is though? Green, because Green kind of had a little bit of a history, has a history with Sylvester, and dude, guys, rest in peace, Michael Turner, rest in peace, Randy Green. They're no longer with us. Um, but I kind of remember like they needed someone that had a little bit more punch for Witchblade to follow Turner. But then again, too, it's like Liefeld leaving X Force. It's like, who do you get to follow this, or McFarlane leaving Spider-Man? Like, who do you get to follow it? And like they kept the title going for way longer than anyone would have ever guessed. But yeah, like sometimes you kind of want that replacement artist to come in and really just kind of like shock the system. Yeah, he used the Matrix and helped him. Yeah. Yeah, and that's a little bit, so I need to fill in some of my Witchblade. I need to finish off Darkness, and I need to kind of start engaging with Tomb Raider, at least Tomb Raider 1 through 25. I need that as like the front end. But then at that point, we can probably get into anything with Top Cow. But I'm trying to go in some of a chronological order. Just to tease that the next Top Cow Tuesday, this week will be the McFarlane issue. Issue 8 will be this week, and then we will do the Eric Larson issue 14 of Wildcats for Wildstorm Wednesday. And I'll tell you guys right now, that Eric Larson episode is not going to be pretty. It's not. Yeah, at the end of Weapons. Yeah, right. I kind of like remember that Weapon. I would say like I was reading Weapon Zero, and what was it, 21 more than like anything. I really did like that. And Spirit of the Tao, Spirit of the Tao was by Detron, was like really freaking entertaining. Um, Yeah, it's like you would think they would bring back Weapon Zero, but I'll say this: I think a lot of the people that would care about that are no longer like in comic shops and reading comics. And this is a part of the weird thing that's happened to the industry, right? It's just hold up here. This is bothering me. These have to be curved. But no, it's just the industry's is in a tough spot. Like, what could they do right now to get people excited? I don't know. Like, I can't even think of anything. I think even Jim Lee coming back to draw X-Men and Tom McFarlane coming back to draw Spider-Man would only last a couple months. Yeah, here's the thing, dude. Like every week, Jay, I start to plan for. So now I'm like maybe like 3 weeks ahead, and we're doing like I already have some of these like already recorded and pre-released pretty much. Like there's other veins of the Top Cow Wildstorm like scenario that I am like going back and forth analyzing all this other stuff, right? Like applying my study to. And every single week, even though I'm weeks ahead, it's supposed to be the backlash week because I have to get into the beginning of that. So we have like a base for backlash Spider-Man, which is maybe of like all of the Wildstorm books outside of the early releases, that's one of the most impactful and influential books that they've ever made because Backlash Spider-Man still resonates to this day, which is amazing. Yeah, Workman Top Cow have multiple creators per property. Getting all the creators greenlit something is difficult. Yeah, it is. It is. Like it's still a business, guys. Right? Like it's still. We have to remind ourselves of that sometimes. Like it's a comic book business, and sometimes there's other things behind these decisions. But we don't care about that, right? We just want to like howl at the moon and bitch, which is fine because that's fun. Some of the what if stuff is fun, like what if this, what if that, like that's fun. But I think some people, their entire analysis is that what if, and it's just like like get going, get the hell out of here. All right, guys, I'm going to jump ship. I got other work to do. So Fatal J, quick comics. Yeah. Wait, I'm just kidding. Okay. Yeah. I mean, like their flagship, Top Cow, even to this day, it's Witchblade, Darkness, Cyberforce. And by Cyberforce, like you can break the characters away. So by Cyberforce, you can say Witchblade. I mean, you can say Ripclaw, Striker, Ballistic. Um, that's those are your golden gooses, and it's insane. It really is insane how much they've abandoned the like this stuff, like this, right? Like all of this comes from that era. Like I'm channeling that era. Like next to me, guys, no joke. Next to me, we have Cyberforce. Next to me, right here. Okay, I'm constantly learning and absorbing it, and I feel like this artwork sometimes maintains it, like Keepers of the Throne. And it's beyond me that Top Cow just doesn't like the modern day Top Cow is, I don't know. It's very frustrating for me. Yeah, I think it was, yeah, but I think it wasn't for a new book, Omer. It was just a compendium. It was a re-release. Yeah, it's old books, Jay. You are correct. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was saying. Maybe if it has new material, it might have like a couple pages, but I don't think it's anything because you guys have to remember, um, with the darkness, and if you look into the artifacts, the 13 artifacts of the Top Cow universe, they destroyed reality and then they rewrote reality. That's where that some of that stuff goes. That's all the Ron Mars stuff. So it's darkness, Witchblade, artifacts, and artifacts. I think reigned for like almost 3 years, guys, and that was their big final bet. And when they ended that, um, things never came back because they, in effect, I'm pretty sure they destroyed their very own reality. It's so complicated, guys. I love you. I do have to go, but it's 10 o'clock now. Maybe a late night stream. Just be on the lookout for it. Love you guys. If I was up to page just to run Witchblade, yeah, pump new life and yeah, or just get Jay Scott to art direct or design covers and shit. Like get Jay Scott involved. Yeah. Later. See you guys. Rock and roll.